Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill and welcome to Suncoast FYI. Today we welcome Mutual of Omaha's new Wild Kingdom series, AllStar Children's Foundation, and the Gulf Coast Community Foundation right here on Suncoast FYI. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom is back with a new production that showcases conservation success stories aimed at inspiring the next generation of conservationists. The popular documentary series from 1963 is undergoing a revival in the form of the new series, Wild Kingdom, Protecting the Wild. With me now is conservationist Peter Gross, host of Wild Kingdom, Protecting the Wild, to tell us all about the exciting new chapter for the series, as well as how we can tune in. Well, this is quite an honor to meet you and have you here on the show. And I mean, how can we not remember Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? I mean, what a great show. And it was disappointing when it left the air, but please tell us about your new program and what we can look forward to, Peter.
Well, it was interesting to hear you say that. That's a question I hear an awful lot, is people approach me and say, gee, I grew up watching Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom on Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely.
And then frequently that's what impacted my career choices, that really connected me with nature, seeing that show with Jim Fowler and Marlon Perkins. And then I joined them in 1985. What's happening with the new show is Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, Protecting the Wild, which is launching in January of 23 with 10 new shows. We're here now in Florida filming the series. We've been working with Mote Marine and spent this morning, as a matter of fact, on Longboat Key looking at nests where giant loggerhead turtles have returned, as they have for centuries,
So exciting.
to lay their eggs. And 90% of the sea turtle eggs in the United States are laid along your coast section
Oh my
here.
gosh.
And I was so excited to see how local people are participating and volunteering to protect the nest, making sure they're not disturbed, and working hand in hand with the biologists at Mote Marine.
That's wonderful. Now, how is this series going to be different, Peter? What are you bringing to this new program?
Well, it's mainly different in the manner in which we film it. Back in the original time with Marlon and Jim, the way researchers had to study their animals would sometimes they might have to tranquilize them or net them or rope them, and that's the way it was done in those days. And because of the knowledge that was derived from those shows, a lot of people now are interested this next generation. Our goal is to get a commitment from this next generation about them wanting to do what they can help to preserve the natural world. So the major difference is that, excuse me, we're using drones, we're using motion-sensitive cameras, we're using heat-sensitive cameras.
Sure.
So oftentimes we're filming wildlife, they're not even aware they're being filmed. So much less intrusive.
Yes, yes. Now, what do you hope our audience takes away from this, and like you said, getting the next generation inspired?
Well, what I hope they'll take away is we hear so much of the gloom and doom about the state of the planet and wildlife and endangered species and pollution, and they hear that a lot, but it doesn't seem to me they hear much about the successes. Our shows are all about successes of wildlife conservation, so the next generation realizes that we have had problems in the past.
We're always going to have problems.
We always
you know?
will, but we solved them.
Yes.
Just off the
Yep.
top of my head. I'm
Yep.
remembering in the 40s with DDT, and we stopped using, and there's a resurgence of birds of prey. Some of the rivers were so polluted that you couldn't even eat the fish out of it, and now they've been cleaned up. I think we're going to do the same thing with the issues we have now. As people are near the beach and they're being careful not to litter, when they're out at night during hatching season, for the turtles now not to have their lights on, because it confuses them. The turtles
Exactly.
need the light to go to the beach. to swim out and go to Sargassus grass and feed out there and survive. So there seems to be an awful lot of local knowledge about what needs to be done to preserve Florida's beautiful wildlife, which you have such an abundance of.
We do. Thank you. Thank you. Now, what are you most looking forward to about this new series?
Personally, I'm honored to be hosting it. I enjoyed working with Jim Fowler for so many years as his sidekick, kind of his co-host, and so I'm proud to be hosting this one. I'm excited that we're getting to tell stories about all of the hard-working conservationists and field researchers who are out there who have made so much progress. So when I talk to an audience and our viewers see the show as it launches in January of 23, we can say, gee, these alligators or crocodiles were highly endangered, and now they've been downlisted because of successes in conservation. Recently we filmed condors that'll be in the show next year when we run it. At one point, imagine this, there were 25 left. Over 500 have been hatched and released back to the wild now.
Oh my gosh.
So we participated in some of the releases. We were in Monterey Bay, where they were having problem there with otters, and the otters are what help keep the sea urchins controlled there.
Sure.
And so we dove with them in this cold water, unlike the water here in Florida.
I hope you had your blueberry shoes or suits on or something to dive in that cold water.
I had a 10-mil wetsuit. Now we're
Jeez.
working with Moulton Marine here, and part of the research they're doing is they're growing coral. So we went to Key West at one of their outreach laboratories and dove and got to see what the reef looked like before the coral had grown, and then what's happened over the last 5 or 10 years. And it's growing 40 times faster in their lab than it does in the wild. So I got to get down up close and reattach some coral and just see all the wildlife that's already returning to these coral reefs thanks to the good work that Moulton Marine is doing.
Wonderful. That's a happy note to end on. Where can our viewers go to watch the new series? You said 1963?
Well, right now, if they'd like to see the older shows, you simply go to RFD TV, and that's what will be airing in January of 23, RFD TV. And then, of course, all the social media we're on that too. If you simply go to wildkingdom.com, that'll connect you with our social media.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all that you do, and I know you have your partner here, Jennifer, that is going along with you and doing the research. So I'd like to give her a shout out as well. So
absolutely.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Coming up, I sit down with Chelsea Hernandez and Stephen Fancher from AllStar Children's Foundation. So please stay with us. We've all heard the expression that children are the future. My next guests represent a foundation that works tirelessly to make sure that the future is as bright as possible. The AllStar Children's Foundation aims to build better futures for children in foster care here on the Suncoast. With me now are Clinical Director Chelsea Hernandez and Chief Development Officer Stephen Fancher to tell us all about the good the AllStar Children's Foundation does for Suncoast youth. Thank you both for being here today. Now, the AllStar Foundation was started when? And it's right here very close to us on 17th Street, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's correct. AllStar Children's Foundation is located on 17th Street here in Sarasota. We were founded by a very passionate local philanthropist, Gracie McGillicuddy.
I've met her. She is absolutely a delight.
She is an amazing woman who's created this foundation which has, we're locally centered, but we have very lofty and big goals. And we are here with a 5-acre campus on 17th Street, where we have a pediatric treatment and mental health research center. And we have 6 licensed family foster homes and a campus clubhouse where we provide an array of programs and services for children and families in foster care.
That's wonderful. Now, it's a brand new building that's just up from Beneva on 17th, or
It's just a little bit west of Beneva, in between Lockwood Ridge and Beneva on 17th Street.
Okay.
And we had a very long campaign to build this project, and we
beautiful
opened
building.
our doors in December of 2019, and we welcomed our first families and parents onto our campus in 2020.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, what is your mission, and what types of programs do you offer on campus?
Great. Our mission is building brighter futures for children in foster care through innovation, science, and compassion. And we do that by implementing 6 core programs that we've developed at AllStar, all focused with trauma at the core of what we do, addressing childhood trauma in the children and with the families that we work with. And we do that through 6 core programs, which involves evidence-based clinical therapy, which Chelsea is our clinical director of. We also work with the foster parents that live on our campus full-time through very intense foster parent training and support. We also work with the biological families through a birth family engagement program, and we help them all navigate the child welfare system together with our systems integration program, all while providing all the children on our campus with an array of enrichment activities, including art and music and tutoring and independent living skills. And we do all of this with research underpinning it all, with a research team showing that if we implement these 6 programs, can we see a better outcome for these children?
Well, they have quite a wonderful start working with you all, so thank you. Now, Chelsea, you just did a presentation. Can you tell our
Yes.
viewers about that, please?
So we had the opportunity this past June to present at the Florida Foster and Adoptive Parent Association Conference in Orlando. And so the topic we chose to speak on was trauma-informed interaction skills for fostering safe, supportive relationships with children. Our children in child welfare have experienced a great amount of adversity and trauma, which likely impacts their ability to create stable relationships and healthy relationships with caregivers. It also impacts their emotions and behaviors. And so what we see often with our children in child welfare are more emotional and behavioral difficulties, which can become challenges for our foster families in the community. And so our training topic specifically focused on ways to enhance safety for children, to create psychological safety, as well as helping foster parents learn new skills to interact with their children, to really create that healthy relationship. Research has shown and told us that being able to create and increase that psychological safety while enhancing relationships with caregivers can reduce trauma-related symptoms.
Absolutely.
And so our training really kind of focused on that with our foster parents. It was very interactive. It's a fun training. We ask foster parents to engage and participate with some different hands-on activities. And then as a facilitator, we get to go around and help coach them and give them ideas of different ways that they can respond and interact with their children to create those healthy relationships.
That's wonderful, because it is challenging when you have a child that is in need and you want to say the right thing to them, and sometimes you just don't know what that is. So this is where you help the foster parents.
Yes,
right?
and it was really amazing because this annual conference pulls foster families from all over the state. And I had a family come up to me after the training who have been fostering for 30 years. And we're just so excited to be able to take applicable skills that they learned in that training and start implementing them
wonderful.
right when they were able to get home with
That's
their children.
Love it. Now, future plans, I'm sure there's something always on the burner. What's going on next?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've spent the last 2 years really implementing and developing our programs on our campus here in Sarasota. And our goal is to be able to then take our 6 core programs and implement them in community homes as well. So foster parents living in the community who are fostering through the Safe Children Coalition or the local CBC to be able to implement and really support them with these 6 core programs in the community. So our next steps are going to be branching out into the community as well as focusing on what we're doing on our campus as well.
Awesome, awesome. Now, where can our viewers get involved, find out more about you, and help?
Absolutely. Well, you can always start at our website, allstarchildren.org, and it's a really good overview of the programs and the services we offer. We could always use financial support from the community as we grow our programs into the future. It's an investment in these children's lives and really changing children's lives for the better. We also are very highly in need of volunteers to come help with our children with all of our array of activities we do on campus. And most importantly right now is finding foster parents who are able to come and live with us on our campus. We ask for a 2-year commitment to live full-time on our campus and really participate in our model. And that is a very big ask of people to do that, but we also provide them with a lot of support and services along the way. So anyone who may be interested in fostering, this is a great opportunity for you.
I love it. Thank you. What a great opportunity. Well, thank you, Chelsea and Stephen, for being here today.
Thanks for having us,
you.
Nancy. We really appreciate it.
Up next on Suncoast FYI, Jennifer Johnston from the Gulf Coast Community Foundation. So please don't go anywhere. One of the main issues facing the Suncoast and the country as a whole is lack of housing. My last guest today is from the Gulf Coast Community Foundation, an organization that aims to address priority issues in our community. Jennifer Johnston, the Director of the Community Leadership at the Gulf Coast Community Foundation, is here with me now to discuss how the foundation is helping alleviate the suffering caused by the homelessness on the Suncoast. That's a huge job to tackle. And it's not just homelessness, it's people that are suffering and on the verge of changes in their life. So how is the Gulf Coast Community Foundation working across our community to help with those issues? Big question, but I know you have the answer.
Yes, thank you for having me, Nancy.
Absolutely.
At Gulf Coast Community Foundation, together with our donors, we transform our region through bold and proactive philanthropy. And one of our key priorities is alleviating the suffering from homelessness by increasing housing opportunities for people in crisis, and particularly people who've been homeless a long time on our streets who need community support to find and maintain stable housing. One of our key partners in this work is St. Vincent de Paul Cares. Their successful rapid rehousing program has housed hundreds of local folks.
Here in our community.
Here in our community, helping them to find housing, to provide a housing subsidy until they can increase their income, and helping them to sign that lease and maintain that housing. So I've had the privilege of meeting some of the folks who've been housed, and they have transformed their lives. So it works.
It's a wonderful opportunity. Wonderful. Now, obviously, it's a tough job that you have. What gives you hope when you're working through these tough issues?
Yeah, as you said, these are challenging times. We have 900 people locally on our by name list who are desperately in need of housing. And about a third of those folks are seniors. So we certainly are seeing people being priced out of housing. And a bright spot is Family Promise of South Sarasota County just opened 10 new units of affordable housing in Venice for families overcoming homelessness. They're a wonderful example of an organization that reached out to donors and foundations and community government and a developer to create housing to address this dire need. And our County Commission just allocated $25 million in one-time federal funding to build and acquire affordable housing here in our community.
Wonderful.
Yes. So there are some bright spots, and community experts are working together to, identify those projects that will serve the most residents.
Sure. Now, how can our viewers help get involved with this?
We're calling on all landlords to consider being a part of the solution, considering offering a unit at an affordable price. If you have a room you could consider renting, you can reach out to Suncoast Partnership to End Homelessness. They're at suncoastpartnership.org, and they have landlord incentives. They can offer support. They can keep those units filled. It's going to take all of us to be a part of the solution because new construction takes years. So we need units today.
Okay. So when you mentioned landlords, the landlords can reach out to you.
They can reach out directly to me or to suncoastpartnership.org. Suncoast Partnership to End Homelessness is having a collective to make sure that any unit that's available we fill as quickly as possible, and they have incentives and support available.
Okay. Because so many lovely people, like you said, that just work here and can't afford housing anymore. So I think we need to all help one another right now, through this difficult time. So what do you see on the horizon And what can we look forward to?
Yes, so we're looking forward to 10 new apartments for veterans who are in need of housing in the city of Sarasota. We are partnering with agencies, and thanks to the Sarasota City Commission for offering the land. So those are under construction. And we have Community Care Court. We have the first Community Care Court in the state that is offering a path to housing for individuals who are arrested for crimes related to their homelessness. Instead of going to jail, offering support and services, and we're seeing success there.
That's wonderful.
So there are solutions available. Sarasota Housing Authority is building new units. Community Assisted and Supported Living wants to expand. They have wonderful units available for people with disabilities. So everyone is pitching in to do what they can.
Okay, so where can our viewers or our viewers that know somebody that's in need of help go, Jennifer?
Yeah, thank you for asking. If individuals are in need of housing, or if they're a landlord with a potential unit available, they can reach out to Suncoast Partnership to End Homelessness. That's suncoastpartnership.org. To learn more about Gulf Coast Community Foundation, to reach us directly, they can go to gulfcoastcf.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and we always want to look at the glass half full, so let's focus on the positive and what's going on and how we're going to move forward from this. Thank you
Agreed.
for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We hope you enjoyed the show today, and thank you for joining us on Suncoast FYI. If you would like to promote your nonprofit or community event, we would love to hear from you, and this is a complimentary service. Please call our producer, Adam Huntley, at 941-361-4645 or email fyi@snnTV.com. To view previous episodes, go to snnTV.com and click on the What's On tab. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.